Now we'll start with the quantum free electron theory. So as I said, I represent quantum free electron with QFET, and this theory was proposed by Sommerfeld. Okay, and then he made few assumptions. There were 4 assumptions made in classical free electron theory. So in that, 2 assumptions were retained and 2 assumptions were new. So what were the assumptions of QFET? So let me say the assumptions of quantum free electron theory. The first assumption was the energy value of conduction electron or valence electron are quantized. So here the first assumption what he made was the conduction electrons which are free to move possess certain energy, and that energy value of those conduction electron is quantized. Okay, and the second assumption he made was distribution of electrons in different energy levels, distribution of electrons in various energy levels occurs as per Pauli exclusion principle. So what does this mean? So we know that the conduction electrons are free electrons, always occupy the conduction band. Okay, so assume this is the conduction band. A band is nothing but it is having different energy levels. Okay, so in these energy levels electrons are being occupied. How the electrons are occupied? I mean, so in one energy level how many electrons should be? Okay, so what is their quantum numbers? Those all will be decided by this Pauli exclusion principle. So the distribution of electrons, that is the valence electrons, in the various energy levels is according to Pauli exclusion principle. So you know Pauli exclusion principle. According to Pauli exclusion principle, no two electrons have same quantum numbers. So no, for example, you have 2 electrons. Okay, the quantum numbers that are present, quantum numbers. So we know that there are 4 quantum numbers, that is principal quantum number, the second one is azimuthal quantum number, the third one is magnetic quantum number, and fourth one is spin quantum number. So according to Pauli exclusion principle, no two electrons should have all these quantum numbers to be same. So then it means that only 2 electrons can occupy one energy state. So one with spin half and other with spin minus half. So in this way, Pauli exclusion principle, the electrons are going to follow to occupy the energy levels. So these are the 2 new assumptions that were made by Sommerfeld for his quantum free electron theory, and the other 2 assumptions, the third and the fourth assumptions, were retained from the classical free electron theory. So the classical free electron theory had assumptions, that is the free electron travel in a constant potential. So free electron is nothing but the valence electron. The free electron travel in a constant potential inside the metal, but are confined to the boundaries of the metal. So it means that, as I explained the structure of the copper, that is the electrons are free to move. So the electrons, the free electrons are traveling within that boundaries of that metal only. Okay, but they are traveling in a constant potential inside that metal. This was the assumption of CFET, which was retained even in quantum free electron theory. And the fourth assumption was the force of attraction between the free electrons, that is the valence electron, and lattice ion. Lattice ion is nothing but the nucleus along with the core electrons will form the lattice ion. So the force of attraction between the free electron and the lattice ion, and also repulsion between electron. So as I said here from this figure, okay, here electrons are free to move. So when this electron, this will become a positive ion core, that is a positive nucleus along with the core electrons. This will become a lattice ion, and this is the valence electron. Now this valence electron is moving throughout the body of the metal and is experiencing a constant potential. That was the third assumption. And the fourth assumption was the force of attraction between these two is very negligible, and also the force of repulsion. For example, the electron is moving here, and when it comes here, it might find another electron, so there might be a repulsion between these two. Even this force of repulsion between the two electrons itself is also negligible. This was the fourth assumption, that is the force of attraction between the free electron and lattice ion, and also the force of repulsion between the electron itself is ignored, or you can say it is negligible.